and that's Anoki, and that's where your boy got that whole Anunnaki shit from. I'm gonna show you that in a second. So this book right here, I'm not gonna go through it or nothing, but he just made this little reference, and this can just prove my point. I imagine this guy is a Christian, and he's talking about. I mean, I honestly don't know. I really didn't read none of this. To be real with you, but the point is this: by linking the biblical God of the Sumerian, okay, just because this book ain't maybe not a credible reference, if you will, he's still talking some real shit. Just read it. By linking the biblical God of the Sumerian pantheon, Gardner can be then. I guess this is whoever he critiquing in this book. I have no idea. Then equate the Judaistic Elohim to the signature assembly of the Sumerian, the Anunnaki. This is my point. Whom we remember from Zecharia Sitichin, okay, who claimed that they were aliens from a Plutarian planet and created man as a slave race to mine gold. For Gardner, the Anunnaki provide a crucial link between the mythological gods of Sumeria and the Old Testament narrative, identifying the Anunnaki with the Elohim as described in Psalms 82. Right? Right? Now, you just seen Psalms 82. They use the word Ani, which is a shortened form of Anoki, which is a Hebrew version of this same word Anunnaki. Okay? And in the Hebrew, it means what? I. Once again, these people putting something that is inside of you, outside of you, for you to worship. This Anunnaki bullshit. Now, who said this Anunnaki bullshit? Let's look. Alright, so Chakakidars with constant dripping wears away the stone. It's some blog, man, from WordPress. I don't know. But he proved good points. So I can use his work. Shout out to the dude. Um, this was posted years ago. Zecharia Sitichin inventing the Nibiru and Anunnaki lie on behalf of the Illuminati. Oh God, here we go again. Don't we always come back here, people? Don't we? Ain't they always associated with this shit? This Freemasonry, fucking Illuminati shit. Ain't it always this? Okay, listen. So before you think somebody is just being a conspiracy theorist guy, okay, listen. At the time Stitchin wrote his books, there was absolutely no chance of correctly translating ancient Sumer without thoroughly studying this language as an ancient tablet. Hold on, before I say that, the ancient language scholarship lie. Okay, Stitchin's self-introduction on the back of his books and on the internet always tries to imply that he had graduated in ancient languages and history. But the simple truth is, Stitcher graduated from the London School of Economics, University of London, majoring in economic history. At the time Stinson wrote his books, there was absolutely no chance of correctly translating the Sumer without thoroughly studying this language and ancient tablets for a long time, and surely not by studying economic history. One of the most distinct and qualified critics of Stinson's thesis is Dr. Michael Heisinger, M.A., Ph.D. in Hebrew Bible ancient Semitic languages, which Sumerian is. Okay, the Semitic excuse me, scientific questions in his open letter to Stitchin, which I got right here, which I'm gonna show you, from 2001 were never answered convincingly, nor will they ever be. Not because Stitchin died in 2010, but because his claims were a complete hoax. Zecharia Sitichin is not a scholar of ancient languages. What he has written in his books could neither pass peer review, nor is it informed by factual data from primary sources. Likewise, when Mr. Stitchin tells readers things like the Sumerians believed that there were 12 planets and the Anunnaki were space travelers, Nibiru was a supposed 12th planet, etc., he is simply fabricating data. It isn't a question of how he translates text. The issue is that these ideas don't exist in a cuneiform at all. He made up that shit. It's made up. And look, him and his fucking Freemason buddy, shouldn't have. Yeah, I ain't recording sound right now, so I ain't gotta worry about that. I don't want to hear this shit anyway. I don't know what they talking about. It don't matter. Okay, you see the handshake. That's what they do. I got one with Tupac doing the same thing. I might put it on there. Okay, watch him. Watch him, goddammit. I don't care about this shit either. Watch him. You gotta know this. These people that's propagating certain ideologies into your community. We still got niggas thinking a pyramid. Look, bam. See it? We still got niggas thinking a pyramid gonna fly out the sky and come save them from fucking Nibiru or some shit. No different from Jesus. Oh, look, they going in. They got your boy. They got your boy doing it. Because it is what it is. Whoever that is, I don't know who that is. John might know. Look, they ain't supposed to be doing that shit. Come on now. That's who is that? That's that dude. He supposed to be for the people and all that blah blah blah. I can't remember his name, but y'all know who it is. Check him out. Bam. All right. Freemason. Zecharia Sitichin. Freemason. So he the one gay all that. Just the open letter to Zecharia Sitichin. He got a whole site getting in his ass. Look at this. Okay. I'm gonna put links to all this. Y'all look it up for yourselves. Y'all throw away that bullshit ass. I don't know what y'all be talking about. This alien mothership bullshit. Let it go. Larita. It was therefore at the pole. Okay. How strange that Lenormand could have written the following and still have imagined that the true primeval Eden of Hindu was anywhere else other than the terrestrial pole. He says, in all the legends of India, the origin of mankind is placed on Mount Meru. This is Hindu. We supposed to be Indians, right?
There are many cosmological traditions around the world which share important features of Bhagavata cosmology. These include a cosmic axial mountain or pillar, which is often identified with a local mountain, such as Mount Olympus in Greece. These traditions also include other standard features, including those shown in this generic world model. The cosmology of the Bhagavatam and the Puranas is shared in its broad features by Buddhism, and it is widespread in the Buddhist countries of Asia. This East Asian picture depicts a square version of Mount Meru and the oceans and islands of Bhumandala, surmounted by planetary orbits. This Korean wheel map shows a central continent surrounded by a circular ocean and another circular continent. Joseph Needham, in his treatise on Chinese science, traces these wheel maps to India or Babylon. Here is a Babylonian wheel map. Wheel maps were also made in medieval Europe. In these Judeo-Christian maps, Jerusalem and the sacred hill called Mount Zion were identified as the world axis. Somehow or other, the tradition of Jambudweep seems to have influenced Gerardus Mercator, who placed a mountain surrounded by a circular continent at the north pole of his map of the Arctic region. The four perpendicular rivers or channels flowing from the central mountain correspond to the four branches of the celestial Ganges flowing from Mount Meru. Here is a Phoenician seal with a personified world mountain and four streams issuing forth at right angles. The Dogon tribe, living near the upper bend of the Niger River, posit a circular continent with a central pillar surmounted by the residence of their high god, Amma. Note the world-girdling serpent in the circular ocean. The ethnologist Evans Wentz identifies this Navajo sand painting as a representation of the four sacred directional mountains of the Navajos. In many traditions, the world mountain is surrounded by four mountains in the cardinal directions, and we also see this in the Bhagavatam and other Puranas. The color scheme is similar to that found in Puranic and Buddhist traditions. The four directional mountains of Jambudweep have four sacred trees on their summits. These include the Jambu tree, after which Jambudweep is named. The theme of a cosmic tree of life is very common, and this tree often grows on the world mountain or stands in place of it. Here we see the Scandinavian tree of life called Yggdrasil. The apocryphal biblical literature describes a tree of life with four rivers of honey, milk, oil, and wine that flow down into Eden. For comparison, the Bhagavatam has rivers of special juices flowing from its four sacred trees. This Assyrian seal shows the tree of life on the world mountain, plus two sacred streams. In this East Asian picture, the tree of life stands upon the column of Mount Meru, centered on the ring pattern of Bhumandala. The Mayans of Central America have a tree of life that extends through 7 heavens, and they also speak of 5 lower worlds. Graded heavens and underworlds are found in many cosmologies, including that of the Bhagavatam. Here we see the cosmology of the Shipibo tribe of the Peruvian Montea. This includes the tree of life, the circular continent and surrounding ocean, and the world-girdling serpent. The cosmology of the Warao of the Orinoco Delta also features a serpent of being that surrounds their world. Here we see the Norse serpent that surrounds Midgard, the inhabited world of Norse cosmology. The Bhagavatam places a universal serpent called Anantashesha beneath Bhumandala. He is generally depicted as supporting the earth from beneath, but the Mahabharata also says that he encircles her in his coils. The Bhagavatam places the cities of Brahma and the 8 Lokapalas on top of Mount Meru. Similarly, many traditions place the abode of the gods on top of their axial mountain or pillar. Here is the geometric layout of the cities of the 8 Lokapalas, or world guardians. These figure in the Vastu Purusha Mandala used to lay out temples in traditional Indian architecture. The grid of the Vastu Purusha Mandala is also associated with the nakshatra constellations marking the ecliptic. Thus, the earthly side of a temple was connected with the heavenly realm of the ecliptic.
Right? The resonance of the gods, a column which unites the sky to the earth. At first, on reading the description of Mount Meru furnished by the Puranas, it appears overcharged with so many purely mythological features that one hesitates to believe that it has any basis in reality. To realize these descriptions, one must represent oneself in the center of a vast level of very elevated surface, surrounded by various mountain ranges and gigantic block, the axis of the world, raising its head to the highest point of the heavens, which there, the earth of the Hindus, you see, which there falls upon the summit, the North Pole, the divine Ganga, the source of all rivers, which there discharges itself into the ideal lake, the Mansa Sarovar Meru. Then is at one and the same time the highest part of the terrestrial world and the central point of the visible heavens, the two things being confounded through ignorance of a real constitution of the universe. It is also at one of the same, the North Pole, the center of the habitable earth. The center of the habitable earth. It really only works on the flat earth. But anyway, literally, in the tree of life, leaving the higher basing mountains. Literally, the continent of the tree Jamba, the tree of life, leaving the higher basin of the mountain in which its waters have at first collected the source. Ganga travels 7 times around the Meru and descending from the abode of the 7 rishas of the great bear. All right, there's 7 times around. That's what they do at the Kaaba, the Muslims, to empty itself afterward into the 4 lakes placed on the 4 summits adjacent to the vast pyramid, serving as butters on its 4 sides. Vast pyramid. Show you something right here. The pyramids. was named More. The four corners represent the four limbs. The top represent the head, as in arm, leg, arm, head. That's why it was called a Mer. And then it got changed to Per, and then it got later changed to Pyramid. All right. So the More is the pyramid, the Meru Mountain. That's the connection. Okay.
Just give the money. Brother Diggy, get the collection plate around on that side. Nigga, get it around on that side. We're gonna now have a beat selection from the choir.
All right. So we show how the Egyptians believe the same thing about the mound, the tie, the mound. All right. Now I showed this book before, but I want to just show y'all real quick. The corpse of the Egyptian funeral text demonstrate an advanced 21st century knowledge of space physics, quantum physics, molecular, biologically, supermolecular chemistry, and bacterial genetics. Using this expansive knowledge base, the ancient Egyptians carved a sophisticated symbolic system of art and hieroglyphics into the tombs of the pharaohs and ability to disguise their science. So you see, all that, the hieroglyphics is all science, baby. None of that is religious, yada yada yada. We talking all science. I'm not gonna even show. I showed this in another video that they believe that the universe was a flat super space. We talking about the Egyptians, all right, and that the North Pole was at the center. The Egyptians to go to the North Pole. Okay, the Earth is a quantum black hole. That was what I wanted to show you. All right, flat super space, but we ain't gonna go there. That ain't what this about. You see the top, the day of mooring. Okay, this is in the hieroglyphs, people. All right, this ain't got, this. You keep your beliefs, man. The day of mooring is in the hieroglyphs, and these are the types of things that it says about it. Okay, where we at? The clone shape sun god, the clone shape, in the Book of the Dead. Zoom, get my zooms right. The text used phrases such as to more in the Book of the Dead, Egypt, to more, to unite with the land. The day of death became the day of mourning. The good day, more, good day, more, death, more, unite with land. Even in this little thing, it has many different definitions. That should tell you something. On a cellular level, meta symbols such as uniting with the land and mooring point to a phase of absorption and penetration into the whole cell. Science. Hold on. So you see more. We go back here to this book here. The fall of Atlantis. In the case of our own local solar system, the nebula in question was regarded as Pleiades. I'm reading this fast like this because I've already put this in videos. I'm just putting this all together for y'all right now so y'all get the understanding. The original man is the spirit that fell from celestial heaven into the physical reality. That's what Adam Kagman is. That's what these mythologies are about. Hence, it was here, so the ancient tradition had it, that the great primordial cosmic spirits, who were the actual progenitors of mankind, fell and thereby metaphorically died to celestial existence. Hence, also this state became known as Meru, as in the mountain, in which I opened with the word for death, the good day to death, which I just showed you. Thus, the myth, or rather allegory, of Merope in ancient Greek story mentioned earlier of the seven Pleiades sisters who married the demons of the and mysteriously disappeared. Hence, also the widespread use amongst the ancient peoples before religion, before Christianity, Islam, in many languages today of the root mer or more, signifying death, the good day. I just showed y'all that in the Book of the Dead. Originally, however, the temporary death of the divine sparks, which fell into a lesser state of being from yet the greater one. Know what you are. More. Know what you are, man. This is what we talking about. You go on again. As mentioned above, it is also seemingly held that our own star was in fact Merope, The missing star of the Pleiades hints again the idea that the celestial heaven was called Meru. For example, Hindu and Buddhism, everybody's saying this, the element more meaning death, the metaphorical sense falling from a higher state to a lower one. Thus man, born as a pure spirit, which had fallen from celestial grace into the underworld state, which had buried his divine consciousness into elemental material, hence the four elements, hence arm, leg, arm, head of the objective terrestrial nature, which eventually designated to rise back above his lowly human nature. What the prophets say, higher self versus lower self within the sixth kingdom of nature, a fully self-conscious, individualized God or Buddha, Ptah, bring it home. Man, I can't make it more simple. I can't make it more simple, but there are yet further implicate celestial relationships here that the ancients recognized. Can't make it more simple.